don't have any injuries for you right now. The guys are just coming in. So I thought overall it was a good, solid performance by the team. Good team effort. I thought again all three phases contributed and played well. So I thought there were some nice adjustments that took place. Coordinators had a good game plan, and then they made a few adjustments during the game, and that helped too. So again, without picking one person or one side of the ball, I just thought overall it was a good team win. That time's yours.
Let's go first, Sam Mellinger. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Andy, you guys had the 4th and 1 that you went for yesterday. I'm just curious, maybe this is a little off the wall, but has your calculus changed in those situations about the quarterback sneak after what happened in Denver last year?
If I was honest with you, I'd probably tell you, yeah. I hate to admit it, but that didn't work out so well. So, and I think we have other things that we can do. We didn't do very well yesterday with it, but for the most part, we're pretty good with it. Yesterday wasn't good enough.
Let's go next to Sarin Petro. Go ahead, Sarin.
Coach, the fake field or fake punt, I'm sorry, for the first down. I know a lot of guys, that'll be something that they, it's maybe just a hot call if it's out there. Was that something that was planned, or was that something, that was called from the sideline, or was that just a read the guys did on the play?
Yeah, so we've had it up for the last couple weeks. It's we were going to do it right there. So Dave put it on and we went with it. So we have ones where we do read things, but this one here was predetermined. So
let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, good morning. Obviously, the trade deadline is tomorrow, and so this is the obligatory question every year around this time. How active do you think the team will be, and how unique is it this year, especially given the COVID circumstances?
Yeah, I mean, it's unique, but there's been movement, and I don't know what takes place here the next couple of days, whether it's here or anywhere else, but there has been movement. I guess it's somewhat unique, and just from the testing standpoint, what you have to get done before the player can actually get on the field. So, but we'll see how it goes here the next couple of days here, next day or so.
Let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Andy, there are quarterbacks out there, obviously, who can make a lot of big plays, and there's some who are good at avoiding turnovers and other mistakes, but very few like Pat who can do both of those things at a really high level. Can you maybe go into give us an example of some of what he does so well that allows him to marry those two things really well? And Brad will have one quick follow-up too.
Yeah, he's got great vision. And most of all, feel in the pocket, just on where things are happening and the pressures are coming from, and then obviously when he's out in space, it's great for young kids to watch him when he breaks the pocket, that his eyes are always downfield, and to be able to do that with confidence, you've got to know where everybody's at and have trust in the guys, and he does a nice job. Nice job with that.
Okay, and looks like you're going to be playing against Christian McCaffrey on Sunday, assuming he's coming back this week, which I think he is. What were your thoughts on him when he was coming out in the draft that year? And would he have been a guy you may have considered had Pat not been available there for you guys?
Sure. No, he would have fit in the offense well. I think probably every coach would say that in this league. He was a heck of a college player, and he's sure doing a nice job in the NFL. So we'll have to make sure we know what's going on with him. Not that David, their other running back is doing very well too, filling in for him. So they have a really, along with the receiver that also plays running back. So they've got three guys there that are really talented players. By the way, nice hat. I appreciate you breaking that out.
Let's go next to Aaron Ladd. Go ahead, Aaron.
Coach, looking at the stat sheet, it just kind of stood out. Passing yardage almost at 450 and then running yards at 50. Was there something that New York was doing that kind of prevented you all from getting what you wanted to click on in the running game, or was it just the adjustments that you were talking about earlier? We know we can get these guys through the air. Then I'll have one quick follow-up, Brad, but it'll be fun, I promise.
We got a lot of follow-ups. That's good, huh? So what we looked at was we were coming in with a top 5 run defense, and they're pretty stout up front, do a nice job. Their scheme allows them to do that likewise. And so we felt like whether it was the RPO game or that was attached to the run game, that that and or our throwing game, that short intermediate game would be good. And so we kind of leaned on those areas, and it worked out okay.
And the follow-up is, it seems like you were a very popular Halloween costume with the week 1 outfit, the foggy face mask. You can't live it down, right?
Listen, that's all right. It's yeah, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, humbling, right?
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Andy, you guys lead the league in turnover differential right now, +9. You're tied for having the most takeaways in the league with 14. From your perspective, just what have you appreciated most from your defensive coaching staff and how they've coached guys to be opportunistic in trying to get the ball?
Well, they practice it, Nate, right? You're out there, you see that. I mean, they hammer that point home, and the guys believe in it, and they're the ones executing it on the field. So they believe in it. Some of it's just being in the proper position to be able to either make an interception or not, and understanding the defense. And so there's a lot of hours that go in from a player standpoint on making sure they know that the scheme and can take advantage of opportunities when the ball's in the air. So they've done a nice job. And then tackling the football, still form tackling, but sliding your hat to the side of the ball, has been helpful too.
Go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach, I do have my Missouri Tigers shirt on for you, but I
appreciate that too. I just saw Tiger in the background. Aaron. Yeah.
Hey, this might be a bit of an esoteric question for you on a Monday, but you've never been shy about looking to other teams and coaches for ideas on offense. I'm just curious, who do you look to? I mean, is there anybody right now that you look at the college level or other coaches in the league and think that there's ideas that you can pick up and learn from them?
Yeah, well, I've got Joe Blameyer here who does all the behind the scenes things with all that. And he spends a tremendous amount of time going through everything from high school to college to pro, and just gathering ideas. And then whether we rearrange the play or we sneak it into our playbook as is, but it stimulates. It's something that keeps you alive and current, and then also helps on the defensive side, kind of knowing what's coming forward in the progression of offenses in this league. So, but I give a lot of credit to him and how he goes about that and the hours that he spends there. So.
Got time for a few more guys. We'll go right down the line. Robert, Todd, and then Breland. Go ahead, Robert.
Hey, Coach. So we've seen Chad Henne a few times late in games this year, and I know you're a guy that doesn't really take any lead in the NFL for granted. What are you looking for when you're trying to look to put in the second team into the game? Is it a certain score you're looking to hit or a certain time in the game?
Robert, you know what, that last part cut out there. Just say that one more time.
So what are you looking for when you're trying to determine when to put in the second unit? Is it a certain score, certain time in the game? What are you looking for?
Yeah, kind of movement on both sides. Just where we're at. The score obviously starts that thought process, but are you safe doing that and still, being able to get those guys an opportunity to play? And you never know when they're going to be in the game playing in a normal situation. And then listen, they all bust their tail during the week, and it gives them an opportunity to feel a part of it. And so that, all of that kind of goes into the thinking, I would tell you. Yeah.
Go next to Todd Lebo. Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Coach, I wonder if you could just speak to how kind of your defensive backfield has had to work through lots of different things this year with suspensions and injuries and all that, and how well they've ended up playing for you.
I missed this thing's cutting out for whatever reason. I don't know what's going on. Just give it to me one more time.
Your defensive backfield with all the different changes and, suspensions and injuries and how they've kind of battled through all of that and continued to kind of get the job done for you.
Yeah, they've done a nice job. Dave Merritt, Sam, they've done a nice job of keeping everything together and teaching all the young guys and the veteran players. I think they've done that well, and the guys all trust each other, and they've worked them in a little bit like what we talked more about when Andy Heck moves the offensive line around. They do the same thing in the secondary, and so when a guy has an opportunity to jump in, it's not foreign. It's the player feels comfortable with it, and most of all the guys around them feel comfortable with it, and they're at that position. You got to have great communication. So, that becomes very important that they have trust in each other there.
Go to Breland Moore for the last one. Go ahead, Breland.
Hey, good morning, Andy. I know that you have talked about this several times throughout the course of the summer, but now that we are 24 hours removed away from the election and you're starting to, I'm sure, see the kind of the setup going on and it's becoming a little more real. Just how proud are you of your guys that they really led this charge to get that type of change done?
Yeah, so I think it's neat that they've been able to do it right here at the stadium, and there were a lot of things that had to go right to get that done, and a lot of it had to do, first of all, with the players having a plan. Second of all, presenting it to management and ownership. And then those people in ownership and management supporting them. So Clark Hunt, Mark Donovan have gone above and beyond to support the players. And that's what team's all about. So there's great respect there. And that's the part I appreciate the most, just how everybody pulled together to jointly get this thing done.